Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Chair Two Face Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Chrissy and Chris. Um, we've had a lot going on this week. First, I'd like to thank our viewers, the few, the proud, the viewers of Chair to Face Wrestling Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Also, don't forget to put your notifications on when we do put stuff out. What else? Remember like Blockbuster, be kind, like, subscribe, and share. Say that 20 times fast and think that it's easy. Mania season is finally over with, and boy, is there a lot of ground to tread in this episode. We are 350 days away from the next Mania that is going to be in New Orleans. So get your kidneys ready to sell. But how we doing since WrestleMania? We have a lot of mixed emotions and feelings.
WrestleMania is over, but the lingering effects of it are still very much here. Um, there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to talk about. I'm not going to take too long in the introductory part of this because we need to get to some analysis. So yeah, it's the, the season's over. The effects of it are still very much here. So let's roll.
Hurricane Mania has finally left the shores, but we are still feeling the after effects. Before we begin, we are going to do a new segment tonight. It is called Suplex Stupid. And this segment is just going to take a little bit of information asked by our viewers. Either you're a seasoned fan of the wrestling game or you're new dipping your feet into it and you just have a dumb question that you think is dumb but is really not dumb. Feel free to drop it in the comment. Drop it in the comment. I can't stress this enough. Drop it in the comment. So the first one comes from Joe in Louisiana. He said, out of these two, who would you take more serious? Santino Marella or Zack Ryder?
Wow, that's
Thanks, Joe, for that one.
yeah, that you know what? That's pretty great. I think as a character, I think Zach was always a little more, I mean, they were both kind of quirky, right? But Santino was just kind of outlandish, funny. I mean, like even Santino's,
Santina
signature move,
Marella.
Cobra, is there was some humor to it. And so I think it's a little tougher to take Santino seriously, but it's a good comparison because their careers are kind of similar, both intercontinental champion, but both kind of popped onto the scene out of nowhere. I mean, Santino literally came out of the crowd and beat Umaga with the help of Bobby Lashley. That was iconic. That's a great question. I think just in terms of their character, I think Zach was a little more serious. I mean, at least
Mhm.
Zach had a legit finishing move. Santino's was kind of, yeah, and and Santino. One of my favorite things about Santino was the mispronunciation of everybody's name.
John
It, John
Cena.
John Cena and
John
Randy
Cena.
Orton. Oh God, what else? Rodney the Piper.
Rock the Piper.
It's the honky tonky man. I mean, that guy was hilarious. It would be tougher for me to take Santino seriously. That's a great question.
I mean, that's like trying to take R-Truth seriously.
Yeah,
Him
exactly.
coming out and
Little
saying he's
Jimmy.
gonna go to the the Money in the Bank. Kane goes, "You're not even in the match." I'm not.
Mhm.
No.
All-time R-Truth moment is when he's in the ring. It's he and the Miz, and it's Triple H, and he's telling them about the match they're going to compete in,
He calls
and
him
Art
Joe Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa. That was hilarious, man. I love it. That's a great question.
And then we have one more suplex stupid question. This comes from Jonathan in Louisiana. What's the point in locking a steel cage if the referee can just open it anyways?
Fair. Um, and it's well, it's also it's more than fair because we have seen people circumvent that, that part of the cage. I mean, I remember speaking of Bobby Lashley, I remember he was in a cage match with Umaga, and Umaga was on the outside, and Lashley jumped at the cage door, and the whole thing fell down on top of Umaga. That was like 2007 or 8, something like that. That was crazy. No, again, that's I never really thought about it, but that's a fair, I guess maybe ease of access, just because it takes more time for the ref to actually unlock. I mean, as opposed to if it was already unlocked, it was just, I don't know. Fair question.
Might need to look into that. And if anybody knows the answer to that question, pop it in the comments. Moving on. So, key highlights of night one of WrestleMania. We're going to hop right into our analysis, which you know how we roll. We're not going to dive straight into these. This is just some key highlights of some of the little matches, and we'll get to the meat and the potatoes, so to speak, after our key highlights. Okay, so bear with us here. The Boo Day won their 12th tag team titles, and they beat the War Raiders. Tiffany Stratton beat Charlotte Flair, which I was honestly surprised that Tiffany beat Charlotte. I was expecting Charlotte to completely turn the tide and beat Tiffany, winning her title and tying with her dad. That's what I expected. It was kind of a messy match. It wasn't a terrible match, but it had some messy sets. I think Charlotte really did beat the shit out of Tiffany, and you could definitely tell. But wasn't too bad of a match. Yeah. So, that damn El Grande Americano. Golly. He aggravates me. It's,
Jeez, Chad.
we know it's you, Chad.
We know it's you.
God, just take the mask off already. No one's fooled. No one's
This
fooled
is
with
like this is
this.
like. Do you remember like in 2002 or 2003 where Hulk Hogan did the Mr. America thing when he had the blue mask on,
I forgot about
but
that.
his big white blonde beard was still sticking out, and he had the hair, and he still talked like this, brother. Hey, but he was like Mr. America. And Vince McMahon takes that lie detector test in the middle ring. I am what is it? I am not a what does he call himself? I am not a pervert. And the lie detector test goes, bah. That's what the whole El Grande Americano thing reminds. Come on, Chad. Let's get
Come
past
on,
it, brother.
Chad. Come on now. Stop cheating too. If you really want to win the right way, do it the right way. If you're gonna be El Grande Americano. Ugh. Anyway, that's my soapbox there. Jacob Fatu won his first title. Love it. Living for it. The Samoan werewolf really is one of my favorite people right now. The man is a bulldozer, and I'm living for this. And I'm so excited that he won his first title. And then Jade Cargill, she beat Naomi. I'm going to be honest. I thought it again was going to be a flop. I thought Naomi was going to win. I thought the storyline was maybe going to continue into the next pay-per-view, which is going to be Backlash. But still not disappointed in it. Our big matches, ladies and gentlemen, get your caps on for the big matches because this is where our analysis is going to come in. Jay beat Gunther. I think that was a great match. Super happy for Jay. Well deserved. I should watch what I say about Gunther because he might come out of nowhere and put me in a chokehold, but I won't tap out.
Ha ha ha.
I'm just gonna let him put me to sleep.
He'll
I'm
do that
not
too.
tapping out, so hopefully he doesn't catch me at the Piggly Wiggly. But we saw the next night Gunther came out, attacked Michael Cole, took out Pat McAfee, which, dude, why are you gonna touch Pat? Like, leave Pat alone. And leave Michael Cole alone too. Like, come on now, don't touch Michael Cole. That was kind of a shocker, but a good match. Thoughts?
So to the Jay Gunther match at Mania, boy, that was a way to start WrestleMania, man. I I thought the outcome was correct. We've talked about it several times. It's Jay's time. Okay, when you have as much momentum as Jay did and does, but when you have that much momentum as a challenger going into that match, it's very difficult to defend having Gunther retain the title. I think the fact that Jay had lost to him like 4 or 5 times already, and um, I thought the match itself was good, not great. Um, there were moments where I was kind of like, but that was a common theme throughout the entire event, which we'll talk about. I thought if I'm having to rank the matches from the entire premium live event, PLE, whatever you want to call it, Jay and Gunther's probably second or third. Again, I thought it was good, not great. I thought the outcome was correct. I thought the moment that he and Jimmy had in the ring after was very real, very deserved, and it was about time. Um, However, I don't think that Gunther and Jay are done, and that's hard to believe because this was match either 4 or 5. I'm losing track, but
It was
Gunther.
match one.
No, no, no. I mean, like between Jay and Gunther.
I think it was
Like
four.
how many? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's either 4 or 5. But I think there's more to it. I think there's going to be another. It's hard to believe because they've been going at each other for however long now. But Gunther's pissed. Gunther thinks he shouldn't have lost, and he's probably going to come out next week and try to defend his actions against Cole and McAfee and call Jay a fluke. And Jay's going to be like, "Oh, you think I'm a fluke? Well, let's do it again." And they're going to do it again at Backlash, and that's what I'm envisioning. Simply because nobody has come forward yet, and I know we're only a week past it, but we're nobody has come forward. Nobody has presented themselves as the next challenger for the world title. And technically, Gunther has a rematch clause. So I think over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see him invoke that, probably at Backlash. And I don't think Jay and Gunther are done. Um, but yeah, good match, not great. Correct outcome. They got that one right. I think they got quite a few of them wrong, which again, we'll talk about. But as far as that match goes, I think they were spot on in the outcome. Super happy for Jay. It's his time. He's got the momentum. He's got the crowd. He he's got everything behind him. So I mean, shout out to Jay. It's yeet time.
It is Yeet time, and I think that's why Gunther's upset because he wanted it to be no Yeet time. But Gunther, let's be real here. Gunther has had a great run anytime he's had a championship title over his waist.
No doubt.
He does the thing. He is a working champion. He is a
No doubt.
workhorse. Um, but it's Jay's time, and I need Gunther to take a chill pill and go talk to his therapist about his feelings and not attack Michael Cole or Pat McAfee.
Yeah, that's gonna bring some that's gonna bring another side out of Jay, I think, too, because the reason he did it is because when Jay comes out, McAfee stands on the table and and he always says, Cole, come on, you're not yeeting. Let's go. You got to yeet. And Cole ends up doing it with, they're Jay fans, right? So it's collateral damage, let's call it. But I think it's just going to fire Jay up, and again, it's going to lead to them fighting again. I don't think it's done, not by a long shot.
Well, bring it on because we're here for it either way. And to continue with night one's big matches, we saw Seth Rollins beating Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Chris, you definitely told us so many, many, many weeks that Seth Rollins was going to win the whole damn shebang. It was a great match. I really enjoyed that match. I love CM Punk, as you can see. This man has been one of my favorite wrestlers since I was in middle school. Straight edge, drug free, alcohol free. That man has always been an inspiration to my own heart. Um, so beginning watching his little promo, I cried. I don't know about anybody else, but yeah, I
Oh yeah,
cried. I boohoo cried for
yeah.
CM Punk. I was like, that's my boy, did it. But to see him lose, but he main evented, and that's what's important. And now let's get to the elephant in the room. Paul Heyman. Oh my God. Turned, turned on CM Punk
Nice.
twice. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back a few years. He did the same thing to CM Punk back in 2013, which is a long time ago, but not so long ago. And he turned on his tribal chief in the most despicable way ever. And now is with Seth Rollins. Let's jump into it. So many emotions. Let's get into it. What do you think?
What I think is Heyman's the GOAT.
He's the
You,
GOAT!
you, you want the short answer? Look, I have been watching Paul Heyman since 1995. Okay. I watched ECW. Look, when I tell you I am a wrestling freak, yes, WWF/WWE is the mainstay, but WCW and ECW and TNA, like I've watched it all. Heyman is the GOAT. Like you can throw all of these other managers out there. R.I.P. to Paul Bearer, love him. Bobby Heenan, love him. Jimmy Hart, love him. They cannot hold a candle to Paul Heyman. I told you that he held the key. Okay. Heyman, there was going to come a moment, and there was that moment. I literally, to a T, all three guys were down in the ring, and Heyman had to make a choice. He could not choose between Punk and Roman because either way, he either pisses his best friend off or he pisses the guy that he probably has, I don't know, maybe the best relationship with and has done the most for in Roman. So what we're going to do is we're not going to piss one of them off. We're going to piss both of them off. And we're going to turn and we're going to join Seth. I also said that Seth was the one guy that had not gotten that push, that main event, I am the man push. Yes, he's been world champion. That's not what I'm referring to for those at home. I'm talking about when you think about WWE, who's the first guy you think of?
John Cena.
It's always been John Cena. But for a while,
It was Roman
When
Reigns.
CM Punk was the WWE champion, CM Punk was the man. Like it was unquestionable who was the guy. And then for the last 5 years or more, but certainly the last five, it's been Roman. Seth, people forget that 2 years ago, Seth was the world heavyweight champion, but he was so overshadowed by Roman. Seth has not gotten that push. Heyman is the guy that can give him that push. Think about everybody that Heyman's been with. They have all ended up being a main eventer, and better than that, Hall of Famer. Seth needs that. And so creatively, it's the right move because it creates so many options. Now, as far as the match goes, second best match of the entire event. It lived up to the hype. It was very back and forth. Roman had his moments. Punk had his moments. Rollins had his moments. It was very shared. It was very smooth. It was very well thought out. I didn't sense any hesitation or, not wanting to play ball from CM Punk or Seth Rollins. So I think whatever beef they may have had, they have probably squashed, which is great because they're great in the ring together. And then Roman can work with anybody. So the match was great. I think the outcome was very interesting. And then it got even more interesting on Monday Night Raw with the addition of Braun Breaker. So is a faction forming? It's what it looks like. So I was very thoroughly pleased with that match. I was thoroughly um reassured in my brain for the business when what happened because I'm sitting here going, well, damn, I guess this one right on the money. The everything else I got wrong. Okay, but this one I got spot on. Look, these three guys are all Hall of Famers. Their careers speak for themselves. This was not, and just a little side note on CM Punk. Yes, the intro, the promo was it was very cool. But he posted on Instagram after, and he was saying that if this is his last one, it was worth it, even in a loss. I can tell you right now, and we can go on the record, this is not CM Punk's last WrestleMania main event.
Thank God.
And I would even go as far as to say that the next one he main events, he's going to win a title. And I would be over the moon thrilled if that happened at WrestleMania in New Orleans. If CM Punk wins the main event of WrestleMania in New Orleans and wins a title, we'll be all right for the rest of our lives.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
I see that for him. I sense that for him. He's just too damn good. He's not as quick as he once was. He's not as strong as he once was, but none of us are. I'm so sick of people going online and talking about how I see these comments with CM Punk is dragging the other two down. I'm like, dude, stop. CM Punk can go with anybody. Yes, he's a hair slower. Yes, he's a hair weaker. No, he can't go for as long as he used to. But none of them can when they get to that age. Did you see the Cena Cody match?
We'll
We'll
talk
get to
about
it.
that in a minute.
Okay. Like, you want to talk about somebody that can't go? Okay. Again, we'll get to it. But to get off the soapbox, this was not CM Punk's last main event at WrestleMania. It wasn't Roman's last main event at WrestleMania, and it certainly wasn't Seth Rollins' last one. The future is bright. These three guys are legends. They did the damn thing, and I was thoroughly impressed with that match.
I would like to go on the record and let all of you CM Punk haters know that if you really think that CM Punk is slow in the ring, then why don't you get in the ring with CM Punk?
No
Let him
joke.
put those big old muscles around you in an
Thank you very
anaconda
much.
vice and put you to sleep because you're sleeping on CM Punk. Look, he is the best in the world for a reason. And I need I need all you CM Punk haters to go somewhere with yourself. Okay?
One last note on the Punk Rollins thing, and I think it's pretty it's kind of written in the stars how Punk calls himself the best in the world. We all know that right now he's not, but he's still one of the best. And I've said this on this show, and I will stand by this. In the ring. Now, I'm not talking about on the microphone. I'm not talking about promos. I'm not talking about anything but in the ring. Seth Rollins may be the best wrestler in the world. Just in ring. That guy is unbelievable in the ring. And I think it's fitting that this main event turned out the way it did. What's most interesting to me is where this goes from here. Are we going to see an alliance between Roman and Punk? Because now they both have a common enemy in Rollins. At first, it was Punk and Rollins that had the common enemy in Roman. But now it's turned because of what Heyman did. Man, this is going to be great. I cannot wait to see how this turns out. I can't wait.
I'm calling it Punk and Roman are teaming up with each other, and I'm here for it because I think it's going to be great. I'm ready
Amen.
for it. Uh, just one more thing with this match. I really think this has set these guys up for just overall greatness. They're already great in themselves, but especially Rollins. Like, I cannot tell you how many people messaged me after night one of Mania just asking questions. And my whole take on this was yes, Seth Rollins has been a big name for many years. He has been great, a class of his own. He is the architect, he is the visionary, he is the revolutionary, he is Seth frickin' Rollins. But let's be real here. He had a title for those about 2 years ago. Um, he just I love the man, but he's lost that spark, that je ne sais quoi, so to speak. I failed French class, by the way, but I know French words, some, but not all. He's got that je ne sais quoi, right? Putting him over in this match elevates him to a whole new level. You got
100%.
Paul Heyman, who is one of the best
He's the GOAT.
managers. He's the GOAT,
He's
the
the GOAT.
GOAT. He really is. And if y'all are sleeping on Paul Heyman, then
Shame on you.
y'all are
If you
really,
have, and I'm going to go here. If you have anything bad to say about Paul Heyman, you need help. You need medical help. That he is one of the most sincere, and yes, he plays a role on TV. Go watch an interview with him. Like the best thing you can do, and I know you're going to feel some type of way about this, Christina, but if you haven't done it, if you haven't done seriously, on a dead serious note, you really want to learn about who Paul Heyman really is, go watch him on Logan Paul's podcast.
oh,
I am telling you that interview with him, he is one of the smartest, most intelligent, most just so detail oriented. He just thinks about it differently. And this goes back to what I said a couple of episodes ago. Whatever you think Heyman is going to do, it's going to be the exact opposite.
he's always 10 steps ahead of what you think he's
Always.
doing. Right.
That man is so intricately intelligent. And he's a family man and he loves his kids. He inducted Goldberg. You want to know what kind of man Heyman is? Paul Heyman, and then I promise you we're going to move on. Paul Heyman, who is the owner and creator of ECW, inducted the biggest homegrown, homemade star from WCW into the Hall of Fame for the WWE. You know what his reasoning for that was? Because he wants to be as good of a dad to his kids as Goldberg is to his son.
I think I remember that.
That's what he said during Goldberg's Hall of Fame speech. Like, how good of a guy is that? Like, Heyman, for so many reasons, Heyman should be retired. Heyman's been at this for 40 years. He's still out there pushing young talent. He's the GOAT. Stop it. The floor is yours.
And we will continue, but if you're still sleeping on Paul Heyman, you really need to stop. And if you are continuing to sleep on Paul Heyman, I'm gonna have to ask CM Punk to put people in a sleeper hold. If he still would do that. Anyway, doubt CM Punk will ever see this podcast, but night two key highlights. Onward we go on this beautiful journey that is World Wrestling Entertainment. Io Sky retained her title. I love Io. I love her very much. She is the Empress of the Sky. She is beautiful, she is talented, and she beat Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Which, I mean, Rhea's my girl, but this isn't over with her. It's not over for mommy. Dirty Dom, oh my gosh. This actually I called this. I just
You
wanted to say
did.
that I
You
called this
did.
shit.
100%.
He won Intercontinental title. I called it. And I'm calling this. I'm putting this into fruition. Judgment Day is now going to split because now Dirty Dom has a title. And guess who's jealous? Finn Balor. Calling it. And then Lyra Valkyria, we found out who her tag partner was, and it was the man, Becky Lynch, who is one of my personal favorite women wrestlers. Absolutely love Big Time Becks. They won the tag team titles. Short-lived
For a night.
for one night. One night only, ladies and gentlemen. And then Becky turned heel. Spoiler alert! Didn't see that coming, but there are rumors that apparently we might be seeing a Paul Heyman and Becky connection and some kind of newer aged evolution. This is just stuff that I've been reading on wrestling things, okay? Could be true, could not be true, but wrestling has always thrown us for a loop. So we'll just continue watching. Drew beat Damian. I was actually kind of surprised at that. I really thought Damian was going to beat Drew, but Drew had a lot to prove, not only to himself, but to the wrestling world. And he did a great job. So shout out to my eye-patched Scottish warrior. Drew McIntyre did the damn thing, went in there, beat ass, and left. Logan Paul still sucks. I literally wanted to gouge my eyeballs out with hot pokers. I was so angry that I almost got up and went to sleep. That
Yep.
that is how disappointed I was. And we talked a lot about AJ Styles in the last podcast, and uh, hmm, I don't think it's over for AJ. Logan Paul is still disgusting. So that's all I got to say about that. And Randy brought back the OG trunks. I noticed that. I was like, he's wearing his OG trunks. I was like, go ahead, Randy. And Joe Hendry came out. I believe in Joe Hendry. All right. And God, the big match. So here we go. John Cena is the 17th champ, like 17-time champion. I I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest on this podcast. I love John Cena. I always have, always will. He's a great performer. That match was honestly the most disappointing thing I have watched in a long time. And I know a lot of us wrestling fans have been in our feelings about WrestleMania. We have a lot of critiques, and that's okay. It makes us wrestling fans. But understand all of us OG vets who have been watching wrestling forever and ever, amen, who watched John Cena for 25 plus years and the matches that that man has put on and how exciting they were, how great they were, how thrown together they were. My husky's playing with her toy, don't mind her. To watch that match was very disappointing. I was really upset. I got up. I told my husband, I'm going to bed now. That was disappointing. That was dog water. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. I knew that Cena was going to win. Okay. He's got till December in his contract. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to for a moment. If you will oblige me.
Obliged.
He's got he's got, let's see, we're April. So he's got about 7.5 months left on his contract. There's no way you could have him lose at Mania because there's no track for him to go on next. Like, again, if he lost that match, then what? If he wins, you find another opponent for him, which they have, and Cody can reinsert himself into the picture. Okay. That is probable, and that's what's going to happen. So the outcome for me was very predictable and very I it was kind of written to be that way. Now, the match itself, I thought it was slow. I thought it was boring. I thought it was very I don't Christina, I don't really even know what the right word is. Um Disappointing fits. Um Dog water fits too. But I just it's never been boring to watch John Cena. It was boring. It was the same move over and over and over. I mean, how many attitude adjustments did you give Cody? 4? 5? Including one from the rope? Like, I just, it's like he can't do what he used to do. And again, duh, he's older. I don't expect him to go out there and put on a 40-minute match, okay? But I expect a little more storytelling in the match. I expect at least a few different moves. I expect I just and the Travis Scott thing. I again, I know it's The Rock, okay? And again, broken record. This whole thing starts and ends with Dwayne, okay? Everybody was expecting Dwayne to be there, and he wasn't. And I credit him for that because at least Dwayne is doing some storytelling. He's flipping the script. He's not doing what you think he's going to do. What did everybody think about Cena before the match? He's old. He's slow. He can't keep up with Cody. It's going to be, the same 5 moves that Cena's always done. And that was exactly it. Now, maybe Cena wants it that way. Maybe That's another way that he gets back at the audience, right? Because that seems to be who he's pissed off at. And that seems to be who his anger is directed toward, is the audience. Fine. I get it. You think they treated you poorly for 25 years? Fine. Whatever. Okay. Again, I've never been so, I guess the word is nonchalant. I've never been so nonchalant with John Cena in my entire life. I don't care. Like the excuse my French, but the bitching out the crowd and the calling out kids and like tonight on SmackDown, he looked at a kid and said that your dad's a loser. And apparently the 6-year-old flipped him off, which I think is hilarious. But it's like, I don't, I don't buy it. I don't, it's so, here we go again. It's so forced. He's bad at the heel thing. Like, and I don't, he's bad at the heel. Like, I just, ugh, it's not working for me. I feel sort of bad for Cody in a way. I knew that Cena was going to win. I didn't think that Cody Rhodes would lose his belt because a rapper that wants to be a wrestler that couldn't throw me around the ring gets involved in the match. And I just, I don't, as a main event of WrestleMania, it's one of the worst main events of all time. It's one of the worst main events of all time. And I can't believe that I'm saying that considering who the participants were. But it was one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time.
Absolutely. Like oh man. So I kind of cried a little bit, like little tears. Everything makes me cry anyways, so I mean, this is nothing new to me. You know, a dog could walk down the street and I'm gonna cry, but it was that feeling of disappointment that we were let down from a great match that could have been a great match. And
A 100%.
I understand Cena's playing heel, but let me be real here. He sucks at it. One. Two, you're going to holler and yell and curse out your fans who have literally given you everything for 25 plus years. You wouldn't be John Cena if it wasn't for us fans buying your merch, putting up your posters. You can't see me. You wouldn't be who you are without us. And you did not raise us. Let me be perfectly frank here, okay? You did not raise Chrissy. All right? Chrissy raised herself. How do you like those apples? And also, don't be mean to kids. It's not the kids' fault that you suck. How do you like those apples too?
Yeah, I just look, Cena has the problem, people, is that for those that did not grow up watching John Cena and watch him every week come out and say that it's the fans that keep the business going. It's the fans are the reason that we are here. I will never badmouth these fans because they are the reason that I am here. We heard him do that for 25 years. So the heel thing doesn't work. It just doesn't. For the long time fans. Now, for the fans that have just gotten into it in the last 5 years, I'm sure this is great to them. But to the tried and true, to the day oneers, it's bad. He's not good at it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Please understand what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with it. Austin wasn't good at it. Rock, for a long time, was not good at it. Like, they've tried to make people heel, and it hasn't worked. Like, this is not unheard of. Mick Foley as Dude Love was supposed to be some kind of heel. It was awful. Because everybody loved Mick. Who doesn't love John Cena? This is what I said from the very beginning. Who doesn't love John Cena? Maybe he's not the GOAT in your opinion. He's not the GOAT in my opinion. Maybe he's not a Mount Rushmore person for you, fine. But what he's done for the business is unquestionable. How great he's been. His resume speaks for itself. He's a 17-time champion now. It speaks for itself. He's not a heel. You can't. The reason that Triple H was such a good heel is because you took him seriously. When he badmouthed people, when he badmouthed the crowd, you thought he was being serious. You took him at his word, and so you hated him.
As a kid, I always had this impression of Triple H because of how good of a heel he was that he popped kids' balloons in the grocery store and took their candy. That is what I thought as a kid because he was just so mean.
Exactly.
John Cena just,
Randy Orton. Randy Orton was such a great heel for so long because you took him at face value. Edge was a magnificent heel because he was believable. John Cena being a heel is not believable. So when he makes fun of the crowd, I'm sitting here going, really? Like, it's funny to me. Heels are not supposed to be funny. They're supposed to be taken seriously. They're supposed to strike fear in you. They're supposed to make you hate them. You can't hate John Cena because for 20 years we've loved him. It, it's not working.
look,
It's not working.
all we gotta do is make fun of his bald spot and he's gonna run home and cry about it.
I mean,
So
come on.
anytime he
Come
says
on.
anything to any of us and makes it feel like it's a breakup speech, it's a I'm not the problem, you're the problem, and you're a toxic relationship.
Yeah. But,
I'm
but
like, dude,
also, like Christina, it would be different if he were in a better position. Like, he's a part timer and he's been a part timer for a while. The reason that The Rock and his current character, even though he's a part timer, he's actually the boss of everybody. Like, in real life, he like is everybody's boss. So you can believe because of the position he's in, he's a believable character. He's running all over everybody. He's telling everybody what to do, and nobody can do shit about it because he's the boss. Like, it's believable. It's there's substance to it. There's no substance to the Cena thing. He's got no reason to hate the crowd. He's got no reason to be acting the way he's acting. So it holds no water. Again, to the one dayers, it holds no water. It's not like he does his heel promos and I laugh because I'm like, dude, like you're a tryhard.
I usually roast my TV as he's also roasting the crowd.
Like, like tonight, he cut a promo with Randy Orton in the ring, who's his new challenger, which is gonna. I mean, I hope it's gonna be great. It would be great if it were 10 years ago. We're gonna see now,
So excited.
but Randy Orton is sitting there with a smirk on his face, like Randy Orton is laughing at John Cena. What world are we living in?
2025.
It's not working.
Look, and if y'all disagree, please, again, pop it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Tell us your feelings. How do you really feel? Because we know this is not working. Okay? I need John Cena to wrap this up and take it home. And Cody, God, The day he turns heel, it is going to be the greatest heel turn. And I think these are the cogs. But he's not going to turn heel. He might, though. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't want to predict too far into the future, but I think this is a perfect opportunity for Cody to separate himself for a while. He's been a workhorse. And as I understand it, he's like in Disneyland or Disney World or something with Brandy and their daughter, which he needs to he deserves to have some time away. But this is the perfect opportunity for him to come back as a face, as himself, and just kick everybody's ass. Excuse my French, but that's Cody is gonna have he's gonna be so white hot when he comes back. That's gonna be great. I think maybe at some point in his career he turns heel. I'd be surprised if he didn't. But right now, he's gonna come back like I'll use an example. Those Captain America symbols behind you. Okay, that's what it's gonna be like. Like it's just he's gonna absolutely be white hot. It's gonna be the perfect opportunity for him. I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be like Captain America coming out with the beard in the middle of Infinity Wars. That I'm a Captain America fan, so yeah. Anyway, I hope Cody enjoys his sabbatical. It's very much deserved. He was the workhorse for us for so long, and he needs that sabbatical. So, highly doubt the man will ever see this podcast, but shout out to you, Cody Rhodes. And it's that time again. Guess what time it is? Rushmore time.
Oh boy.
And this one was a hard one because I have a hard time making these Rushmores. So I need y'all to come up with some ideas for Rushmores. We are doing great promos tonight. Four of my favorite promos.
Oh,
Best of luck to you, Chris, in figuring out your four promos while I go through mine.
oh my God.
So,
Okay.
for the ones who are just tuning in with us at Chair to Face Wrestling Podcast, we do a Rushmore. A Rushmore are four of the top favorites. I've done Mania entrances, Mania matches because we were in Mania season. Now that we are not in Mania season, things are going to be moving quite rapidly, but also in different directions. We're still going to do our thing, but Rushmore is going to be different things. And I chose promos because anybody who comes into that ring and you have the greats, Ric Flair, you have Razor Ramon, you have Dusty Rhodes, you have Macho Man Randy Savage, you got John Cena on the mic, you have CM Punk on the mic, Seth Rollins, even Roman Reigns has gotten better
The
in his
Rock.
time. The Rock, you give him a microphone and Stone Cold Steve Austin. They make great promos. Promos are what make wrestling. They are what make you want to sit at the edge of your seat in anticipation of what is going to happen next. And now let's get into it. I chose Dusty Rhodes and his Hard Times promo during his
Mm,
um during his rival with Ric Flair. I
yep.
will pop these in the description for you guys to go and listen to. I really highly recommend my top four, which Chris, send me your top four too, and I'll pop them in there. I want everyone to learn about wrestling promos. So, he does a great promo. It's one of my favorites. He talks about hard times, which a lot of us, if you've grown up in a middle class or poor blue collar, you understand. My dad was a pizza man. Okay, it was kind of rough, but my dad and my mom always made it happen for us. They were the reason that we got to watch WrestleMania, being that it was $60. My dad made a way. Hard times. And CM Punk, I always reference the pipe bomb. He's great on the mic either way. I watched the other day him commentating wrestling because everyone walked out and he
Yeah.
said, "Can I wear the blazer?" "Well, you
All
can
on
wear my
strike.
blazer." And he wears his Triple H's blazer and he
Hmm.
goes and he sits at the table and he's like, "This is CM Punk. No, do not
Great,
turn your
great,
TVs.
great episode.
This is actually happening. This is CM Punk and I am announcing
Yep.
wrestling." And Triple H is the ref. He's just great on the mic. The pipe bomb is one of my top favorite Punk moments. I have many Punk moments. The pipe bomb's my favorite.
His best moment of all time.
What I am
Uh,
referencing, which we have referenced before in the beginning of our podcast, CM Punk comes out and he is very raw. Not just because he's on Raw, but he is just raw, meaning that he is mad, he is upset, he's feeling a sort of way because he is not being utilized in the way that he feels he should be utilized because he is the best in the world. He's not on them little souvenir cups. He's not on the wrestling announcements. He's not on the little pamphlets. He's not this. He's not that. He's like, I don't have any problems with you, John Cena. I have problems with the people in the back. And you kiss Vince's ass and blah blah. It was a whole shebang, which I will put in the
where,
description.
oh, where are my WWE ice cream bars?
Where are our ice cream bars? Those were the best ice cream bars ever, okay? And if you're not old enough to know what the ice cream bars are, I feel sorry for you because those were amazing.
Remember the cups at 7-Eleven?
Yes, I do. And
Mm-hmm.
the WCW themed ones too. I have a couple of those actually at my mom's house. Our age is showing. And Reza Ramon, the happiest guy in the
Yeah.
WWF, was from 1993,
Mm-hmm.
oozing machismo. The man was great. He was one of my favorites, ripped to Scott Hall. Amazing on the mic. And I loved it when he got on the mic, he'd throw the toothpick.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Mm,
Hey, yo. He made it cool to be the bad guy. I highly recommend you guys go watch Razor Ramon.
he was awesome.
And then Randy Savage is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I love the
Mach.
Macho Man. Macho Man Randy
Ooh,
Savage. And I
yeah.
chose cup of coffee in the big time. A
Coffee.
cup of coffee, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And
Yeah.
there's also the cream of the crop. She's the cream of the crop in the coffee. And he's like, oh yeah, Mean Gene. Great promo, one of my all-time favorites. And there's many favorites, but that is my favorite because he's cup of coffee in the big time.
Mach.
Oh yeah, it's
He
great.
was awesome. That's four good ones. These throw out some classics there. Mine are going to be a little bit more modern.
I love the classics.
Wow. This is good. So I will go. The Punk Pipe Bomb has to be on the list. I don't. It's not my number one, but it is certainly one of the top four. Um it was the get real moment of the last, oh God, 20 years, 25, maybe 30 years. I mean, it was a get real moment. Every word that he said, he meant. And he called out a lot of people. He said a lot of um, things that got him into some hot water, but he was speaking his truth. And when you look back on it, he's probably right about a lot of it. Um, Pipe bombs up there. When I think of promos, I always go to the Eddie Guerrero "I'm an Addict" promo with Brock Lesnar. This is 2004. This is the SmackDown before
No way out.
No Way Out. No Way Out. Lesnar talks about Eddie's prior convictions and addictions and his past. And Eddie basically runs with it. It was a totally ad lib, off the cuff promo. Eddie talks about how, yeah, I am an addict and I've won my family back by the grace of God. I've won my family back. I've won my kids back. I am an addict, bro. I'm addicted to this. I'm addicted to the satisfaction that I get from them. And oh, what a high it is when we're in this ring. And the difference between you and me, Brock, is that I'm an addict and I'll do anything to get my high and win the WWE title. It's like an 8 or 9 minute. It is, uh, it is amazing. Um, Eddie was Eddie was one of a kind. Um, my mind always goes to that promo. Oh boy, I would have to throw this is kind of an off the wall one, but I would have to throw. I'm gonna maybe I'm gonna really mess up the year, but I want to say it was 2008. Chris Jericho had just come back and debuted the Save Us Y2J with the blue shirt and the blingy jacket and the short hair, okay? And he had turned
Uh,
heel and he was in a rivalry with Shawn Michaels. And Jericho there's a segment where Jericho punches Shawn Michaels' wife in the eye.
oh, I remember this.
And Shawn now and a couple weeks later, Jericho would put Shawn's head through the Geratron 5000 and Shawn would get glass in his eye. And so now his eye's messed up, his wife eye's messed up, yada, yada, yada. Sets up a big match, maybe Judgment Day. I don't remember the pay per view that they fought, but I'm pretty sure it was 2008. And Shawn the it was on was it Raw or SmackDown? Probably Raw. The Raw before the pay-per-view. Shawn comes out in what looks like the worst shape you've ever seen him. He's got he's hasn't shaved. His beard is gray. His hair is down. He's still kind of in a suit, but he doesn't have a tie. He's not well dressed. He looks disheveled. He looks tired. He looks exhausted. And he goes on this promo. It's about 5 or 6 minutes long, and the final line he says the final two lines he says in the promo are he's looking down like so, and he kind of slowly raises his head up like this, and his eyes are like half shut, and he's like, "My only hope is that God can forgive me for what I'm gonna do to you." And he says, God, what does he say? Said something, or is it it's no mercy. That's the pay-per-view. He says, "No mercy." Fitting title, isn't it, Chris? No, it's Unforgiven. It's Unforgiven. I'm sorry. It's all coming back to me now. Unforgiven, 2008. Because Shawn lifts his head up and he goes, Unforgiven. It's an appropriate name, isn't it, Chris? Because my only hope is that the Lord will forgive me for what I am going to do to you. And at that pay per view, it is a 20-minute absolute squash match. Shawn absolutely annihilates. Like Chris Jericho gets like 5 offensive moves off the entire match. And it was written that way. It was supposed to be that way. It was a squash match. That promo by Shawn, it was so different for Shawn because Shawn's not a dark person. He's always well kept and he's always Shawn Michaels. And it was so opposite and so just not un-Shawn like. So that's kind of an off the wall, under the radar one, but that's one. And then a fourth. Oh boy. I'm gonna go with The Rock. I'm gonna give you a funny one. Okay. It's 2000. The year is 2000, and it's before the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match. where it's him and Kurt Angle is WWF champion at the time, and Rikishi and Austin and Triple H, and I'm missing one, Undertaker. It's those six. And Michael Cole is doing a backstage interview with The Rock. And The Rock goes one by one and makes fun of each one of the guys that he's facing. He talks about Kurt Angle. Uh, well, maybe The Rock has got to beat Kurt Angle, which means I'm going to drink a big glass of milk, eat some chocolate chip cookies, and then maybe I'll take 3 Viagra. It's just, he gets to Rikishi. She's like, I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people. I did it. I did. Oh, shut your mouth, you thong wearing fatty. Oh, he just goes off on all of it. He gets to the Undertaker. He goes, uh, or maybe The Rock has got to beat the Undertaker, the American badass. Beat him so bad that one more time he'll raise up. Rest in peace. And and Triple H, poor Triple H. The Rock made fun of Triple H and Stephanie so much. I don't know how Triple H was ever able to hold it together. He he says, or maybe The Rock has got to beat Triple H himself, which means he's got to beat the game in the middle of the ring.
Ugh.
And he has a $2 slot for a wife. Oh, dude.
Oh my God, I
And then
remember
he gets
that.
Austin. He says, or maybe The Rock has got to beat. And he puts an Austin 316 ball cap on, and he says, Stone Cold Steve Austin, which means I gotta get in my pickup truck, drink some Steve Weisers, listen to some Backstreet Boys. If you haven't seen it, it is hilarious. To me, it's the best rock promo of all time. It is hilarious. I'll throw one funny one in there. I could go for rock promos for days. Don't even get me started. That would probably be my four. I'll throw a funny one in there. But yeah, to me the Eddie boy that Eddie addict promo may be number one. It was so real and it was ad lib. It was just it was off the cuff. It was you could tell because Eddie was you could see Eddie's brain churning things out as he would. It was awesome. Like those would be my four. I'll send them to you so you can post them.
Hell yeah, brother. Those are some good promos. I do remember that Eddie promo being just so uncut. Brock did not know that Eddie was going to hit him with that and
No,
how Eddie became so personal with it because Eddie did struggle with addiction and Eddie did get arrested and Eddie had to fight through hell and back to get the respect of his family again, get the respect of the company again, because Eddie was suspended from WWE because of his drug addictions and because of his alcoholic addictions. He got himself straight. He came back to God. He got him, he really made the lemons that he chose in his life and made it lemonade. And that promo is amazing. And I will put all of these promos in the description for everybody's homework, just so that you, the audience, get a chance to see what a great promo is. And if you have your own great promo that you would like to share with us, again, pop it in the comments wherever it's at. I don't know where it's at with this screen, but it's down there. Okay?
see,
Okay.
man, this is the problem with doing Mount Rushmores is that you come up with really great topics because now that I've said the four, I've had two come into my head that have it's like Cena and Edge.
Uh,
Again, this is like 2007 or 2008. This is after their bitter rivalry, like 05, 06 ish. is over with. They haven't fought in about a year or so, and they meet back up for one last match. And Edge has Cena on the highlight reel, his show, right? And it's the I Hate You promo. So Edge is sitting in the seat, and Cena's sitting in the seat, and they're like face to face, right? And Edge just goes off about how much like Cena stole the world heavyweight title from him and all this stuff. And Cena goes, "You had an opportunity tonight to tell this audience about what is quite possibly the greatest rivalry in the history of this business. And instead, you come out and talk about how I stole this from you. I'm done wasting my time if that's all you got." And Cena goes to walk off, and Edge goes, "I hate you." Hate is such a strong word, but it describes everything I feel for you. And he talks about he hates your wristbands, he hates t-shirts, I hate the C Nation, I hate your theme music, I hate your shorts, I hate your ball cap. He just goes on and on and on. And they're meeting in a last man standing match, right? And so Edge talks about how he's going to be the last man standing, and Cena goes off. He gets in Edge's faces and he says, "Edge, a last man standing match? That's a match based on punishment. You may be a better wrestler than me. You may know how to use your opportunities to get yourself championship matches. You may be the ultimate opportunist. But I know that I'm tougher than you." And it's not the wristbands. He takes off the wristbands, throws them in the crowd. It's not the ball cap. It's not the t-shirt. It's not the chain. He takes everything off. And he says, "Do you still hate me, Edge? It's not any of that. You hate me because I'm tougher than you." It was classic Cena Edge. Like, oh, this is why I don't like doing Rushmores. This is the one reason why I don't like doing them, is because now I've got all these promos coming back to me, like the first Wyatt family promo.
Oh, that was a
Like
great
when like
promo.
when Bray introduces his family. Dude, anyway, soapbox.
Look, we could go all night with promos. We could go all night with Rushmore. And it is something that I love doing. I have found a joy in researching all of these things, and I do come up with great topics. I stew in it for a little bit, and then I just go for it. So yeah, we will put all of those topics into our description box so that you people, lovely, lovely chair to face podcasters, can go in and watch them. And if we don't have anything else, I guess that is it for this episode of Chair to Face Wrestling Podcast. Tune in for more. Like, subscribe, comment, put those notifications on. Be kind, rewind. This is your host, Chrissy, and your host, Chris. Thank you so much for joining and have a wonderful Chair to the Face night.